Hello, and welcome to Season 1, Race 11 of my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. We are here in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, and as you can see by the qualifying results, we are nowhere to be found. That's because we qualified all the way down in P15. Did not have a good run through the second sector, so that sort of really just wrecked my lap. And it's a bit of a parody of sorts towards the front with Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren. Excuse me. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race starting from P15. I like Zandvoort as a track, but
I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow? Let's talk about another team. How do you feel they did today? Appreciate your time.
As I was saying, I like driving Zandvoort, but for some reason the corner that's right at the start of the second sector, I forget what the turn number is, but it's basically a long, slightly banked right-hander. That's been sort of screwing me up throughout the whole weekend. So it's just been something I have to work on. Make sure I get it right for the race. 15th isn't terrible. I have no idea what the strategy is going to look like. Race length is about the same as Austria, so I think it's going to be like 36 laps or something like that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and find out and see what the strategy calls for. We did purchase the upgrades that failed on us last time, so those should be in good for the next few races, or for the next few weekends. But we are going to go in and purchase some more here. I think we need a durability upgrade, so this one's pretty cheap, so I think we'll go for it. The control electronics improved, 41% off. Get that durability upgrade. And then, is there anything else we can get that's below, sort of? We get this, the cylinder head for $792. And this would be a major engine component. Chassis-wise, nothing that we can afford. Aerodynamics-wise, we can go for, actually, let's go for the secondary wing flaps. We can use more improvement in the aero department than the engine department, so... Oh, but our department capacity has been reached, which is very unfortunate. So let's, I guess, go to the engine, see if we can get this. Oh, the capacity has been reached, so we can't do anything. So, but that's okay. I guess we can just hold on to some resource points here. And unfortunately, I have not upgraded those facilities yet, which is a bit of a setback. Other news? So we do have news that Kimi Räikkönen is retiring at the end of the season, so that means there will be at least one new driver on the grid next year, Season 2. So yeah, but for now, let's go right into the Dutch Grand Prix and see what we can do for P15.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside at races across Europe and throughout the world. Now, at long last, they have a Grand Prix to call their own. It's a warm welcome once again to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout a 2.6 mile lap. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Vettel, Leclerc, Sainz and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, the owner driver, Mick Schumacher and Giovinazzi, Russell, Mazepin and Guan Yu Zhou and Nicholas Latifi. Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Fernando Alonso, Ocon and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So the good news is that we were the beneficiary of 4 separate grid penalties, both Alpines, Gasly, and the AlphaTauri, and then Kimi Raikkonen, but he was behind us, so that really didn't affect us very much. Race strategy-wise, so pretty much everyone is starting on the soft tires except for the Williams pair and Pierre Gasly, who are on the mediums, and for some reason the team has me on hard tires. I don't know why they have me on hard tires, but they have me on hard tires. Not too sure about that. I feel like the fact that since most people are starting on the softs, I want to be on the soft tire. Let's see, edit strategy. Okay, so let's go there. Let's... Okay. Remove that stent. Remove that stent. Okay, so it has us doing a 2-stop, but this is the best I can do here to sort of set us up on the soft tires. As I play with something here. So yeah, so we're gonna start on the softs, and then we'll go from there and see what happens. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Start on the soft tire, and it will play it by ear from there. Went a little
Launch
early.
is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please. The drivers we're fighting here are Stroll and Schumacher. No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
So with the cars taking the grid penalties, I really don't know what to expect from this race now in terms of finishing position. Obviously, I'd like to get in the top 10. Whether we can actually get there or not, I have no idea.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
And I have no idea what the AI are going for in terms of strategy either, so I have a feeling some of them are going to try soft to hard, potentially. But we'll see, I guess.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Alright, here we go. 5 red lights for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. And we're underway. Very slow getaway as per usual. Giovinazzi. Oh, and... Are you serious, Giovinazzi? Are you for real? Schumi just cutting me off here. Ooh, somebody went off in front of me. It might have been, was that Ricardo? Let's take a look here. So it's Norris and Hamilton battling for the lead. They were 3 wide in front of me. So that's what did. Yeah, they were 3 wide. That's what led to the contact. Around the outside of Lance Stroll. Right behind Yuki Tsunoda. Yes, that corner right there, that's been our big problem. We can't... Just trying to figure out where to brake for that corner, because it should be a faster corner than it actually is. At least I think so. Can we get by Tsunoda here? Diving to the inside of the corner, we get him for 10th place. So we are into the points, but just barely. That could have been a better run through that corner. We also have, just as I guess a forewarning, we do have more thunderstorms coming through the area today. We'll leave the remnants of
you're in the top 10.
The remnants of Tropical Storm Fred coming through the area today. So if anything has to happen, just giving advanced warning. So you look around Leclerc for a pass potentially around the outside. That was a move I really like to do on F1 2020. Around that banked, low-speed banked corner was pass on the outside as Leclerc looks back to the inside now. We maintain the position, maintain P9.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Important for my race is getting out of Leclerc's DRS range and into Sainz's DRS range. So we can get away from that second pack of cars behind us. Leclerc's caught back up to us, unfortunately. Do our mid-session save. Oh, flipped the curb a little too much there. Pit window currently is lap 9.
Gap to car in front is 2.1 seconds.
That's what's listed as anyway.
You're in ninth position. Sainz is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 2.1 seconds. They're on old softs. Leclerc is behind you. The gap is less than a second. They're on old softs. The gap to the leader is 8.6 seconds. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps.
Leclerc looking to the inside. Oh, I made him jump the curb, actually. Really starting to fall off the cars in front of us right now.
we're leading our teammate by 5.4 seconds. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. Our gap to the car in front is 3.5 seconds.
Leclerc, that's not a place to pass. I don't know what you're trying to pull over there.
P9, you're running in P9. Signs ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 4.0 seconds. They're on old softs. Leclerc behind. Less than a second separate you. They're on old softs. Our gap to first place is 13.1 seconds. Your pit window opens next lap. 29 laps to go.
We really seem to get a great run off that final corner. So we really haven't come under...
We think you're going to start losing some tire grip around now.
We haven't really come under attack via DRS down this main straight as of yet. Now, lap 9, this is when the pit window should open for the soft tire runners. let's see. Did anyone actually decide to pit this lap? Hamilton stayed out. Norris stayed out. It looks like everyone in front of me pretty much stayed out, so no one's pitting as of yet.
Don't panic just yet, but we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it. Gap to teammate behind
Uh-oh,
is
that's not good.
9.8 seconds.
That was not a positive transmission. As they...
Gap to car in front is 5.4 seconds. It looks
Oh,
critical.
no.
Find somewhere to retire as soon as possible. We can't risk you carrying on with this race.
Oh no. That's it. Race is over. Mechanical failure has put me out of the race. So what do I do now? Oh, I guess I have to retire for the session. Yep, no other choice. We knew this was a possibility, and it has happened. We are out of the race. Engine failure. Tough break.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here in Zandvoort, but they have done, and done it in spectacular style. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again,
classic
it's the Silver Arrows who
have
take
bought
top
Ver
spot.
podium.
A well-earned victory for Mercedes. So, let's review the drivers' standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So that was that. That was a very abbreviated Dutch Grand Prix. Engine failed about 9 or 10 laps into the race, and that's that. So I was curious to see what the pit stops were like, and everyone seems to have gone for, he's going to say, a one stop. For the race director incidents. So Nicholas Latifi had an unserved penalty for a severe collision with Alonso on the first lap. Everyone went soft to hard. Lewis Hamilton pitted on lap 13, so Yeah, I guess it would have played out just like Austria with a one-stop. Let's see if we can go to the replay. I don't know if it will allow us to view the whole race, or if it will just go to when I retired. Looks like it's just going to go to the lap until I retired, so we can't see the whole race, which is kind of crap. I think, honestly, they should, if you're gonna retire, you should still be allowed to see the entire race on the replay. But that's just me. Yep, so here we are going through the end of the first sector. Got Leclerc right behind me. And there it is. Goes up in smoke. And out of the race. About a third of the way through. Which is quite unfortunate. Yep, so that's it. So, again, Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix ahead of Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen. Lando Norris is 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, Perez, Ricciardo, Vettel, Leclerc, and Stroll wrap up the top 10. Mick Schumacher, I will give the tip of the cap to him. I think that might be his best result of the season. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I think he scored points. He scored a point, I think, in Hungary. So, not his best finish, but a very good finish on the lead lap in 12th place. And our teammate Guan Yu Zhou did finish 16th, which is a perfectly solid finish for him. Standings wise, we're obviously going to lose a lot of ground here. We're now well behind McLaren in the constructor standings, 100 points actually. We're still a decent way ahead of Ferrari, which is solid, I would say. Driver standings, we actually don't lose that much to Lando Norris in 4th. We're only 13 points behind him. Ricciardo gains on us a little bit, but again, we don't lose a ton. So, not horrible, but not ideal. And so, what's interesting is that this was the second column of engine components, so I want to see which one was the one that failed. Because actually, I had already been planning going into Italy to go to the third row
Bad
of
luck
components.
today. That must be incredibly disappointing. It looked like you had a few mechanical hiccups during that race.
Not sure which one to go with here, because it's either knocking our power unit team or knocking our reliability team. I guess I'll go with reliability.
Why do you think you weren't as quick as your teammate today? It must be crushing when something goes wrong that's entirely out of your control.
I'll get a lenient comment here. Just, these things happen. Just sometimes you just get unlucky, and that's it.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, sometimes those things just happen in real life Formula One. So we totally lose out to Ricardo. My teammate goes up a level in the claim, which is good. Interesting to see how much cash we get, though. So we answered the interview questions, and we more than completed enough laps for the bonuses. So, and you get 37K base payout from Guan Yu Zhou. And money-wise, we're in pretty good shape, which is good because my key coming out of Zandvoort was being able to afford the new contract for Guan Yu Zhou. So, presumably we'll be going into that straight away, and again it'll be a short week because the Italian Grand Prix is coming up next. So, let's take a look at that. First we'll go to the vehicle component. So, it was the second engine here, energy store actually, which is funny because if I go to the upgrades, what was it? What did I go with? I'm trying to see here. The control electronic is what I went with for the upgrade. The energy store we haven't upgraded yet. And I think that is what failed on the car? Was the energy store. And it didn't have that many laps on it. So I might have to take... I could go with the one here. I don't know how many places that of a penalty that would be. Yeah, that's an interesting decision I have to make. In terms of, doing that. But we will address that momentarily. We will do second driver... external training. That's all we can do. Looks like the mechanical failure that happened in the last race was caused by an issue with one of our components. Fortunately, the team managed to identify the cause and it has provided some useful insight in our research efforts. But we get... what I was going to say before we took that screenshot is that we get no resource points for them discovering that fault, which is kind of annoying, but Guan Yu Zhou's market value has gone up, which is kind of annoying, to be honest with you.
Here
But
you can make an offer to your driver. The more you offer, the greater the chance of them agreeing to it. Be careful not to insult drivers, though. If you do, they might refuse to negotiate any more with you in this negotiation period.
we will go low risk. It's a little bit more. He's declined your offer. That's interesting. Renew sponsors. So we'll have to go do that. Customization on the car. Alright, so took care of everything on the car in terms of filling those sponsorship slots back up. So everything should be good there. Research and development, we have parts coming in on the 13th. We had one that came in, I believe, just on the aero side, I want to say? Oh, it was the engine part. The stators. I believe that was a minor engine component upgrade. Let's see. Actually, I'll figure out the driver situation first, and then I'll take care of that stuff. Alright.
Our new parts have completed without issue.
Okay,
They'll
that's
be
good.
on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
So I'm actually not sure what's going on here. So Guan Yu Zhou. Okay, here we go. Okay. What's weird is that we went for a low risk offer the first time. And he declined. Go low risk again. And he's declined the offer. Which is very interesting. I don't know why he would be declining. Okay, good news for our friends at Renault. They've introduced a new upgrade package onto the power unit, so hopefully we'll notice some improvements in the next race. R&D. It's a good powertrain. Lightweight pistons. So that's one of the automatic upgrades that comes from the engine supplier. What else do we have coming in? I guess we can go with a engine upgrade. We can go for the cylinder head here. Alright. So we have to do one more shot at the contract renewal with Guan Yu Zhou. Let's see what we can do here. $2.7 million. Let's see what that gets us. Okay. He signed. He played hardball, but he signed eventually. It's really getting worried there, but came through for us in the end. And here's the big question. I don't know. I don't remember what the penalty for that change would be. 'Cause I don't want to risk retiring for a second race in a row. I guess I'll have to think about that for the next episode, which will be the not the Hungarian Grand Prix, the Italian Grand Prix will be the next race at Monza, which is one of our better tracks, has to be said. So, unexpectedly short one this time out, but hopefully things work out better for us in Italy. So, I'll see you for the next one.